guys? Thanks so much for clicking on my channel. Well, all smiles over here. I am with Sanja Slay asking a question. Will Sanja help me keep a smile for today? And hopefully the answer is yes, you guys. I'm going to try not to keep it long, but y'all already know. If it gets good, I'm going to keep on talking. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to go to nugget today is they can't have it because it's yours. But before I get to run my mouth, I'm going to do it. Check out this manifestation jar and then we're going to talk about it, okay? I pulled out 2 or 3, maybe 4, and we have multi-streams of income. We'll take that all day long. The next one is yes, indeed. Overflow. We'll take that too. And last but not least is what? Pay off card. We'll take that as well. Listen, y'all, listen. Whatever God has promised you or ordained specifically for you, no one can take it. You know why? Because whenever God gives you a promise or ordains something for you, his word cannot return back unto him void, which means what? He has to perform that thing. He has to come through on what he has promised and or ordained for you. So you can stop sweating bullets over there because it's looking like somebody's about to take something that you know belongs to you. Maybe it's a man over there and you know God has spoke to you. I mean, really know. You ain't just making this thing up. You know that God spoke to you and said that young man is going to be your husband. You can stop sweating the bullets. If God said that young man is going to be your husband, he's going to be your husband. You got to worry about if she over there going, you got to worry about that. Maybe God spoke to you that the young lady is going to be your wife. You got to sweat the bullets because you see another young man talking to her. If God spoke that to you that she's going to be your wife, then you ain't got anything to worry about. Don't worry about that. Don't sweat the small stuff. Don't sweat the small stuff. Why? Because when God promised you something, he always makes things right when people trying to get in the way of what he's promised you. Let me give you a prime example. Y'all remember King David? God told King David, when you pass away, when you die, your son Solomon will take over your kingship. And King David said, cool, sounds good to me. That's what the plan is. And Solomon knew it. Solomon's mom Bathsheba knew it. And some of the other high-ranking ones around them knew it as well. Now, when David got on his deathbed, one of David's other sons had a different thing planned. He was like, wait a minute. According to the rankings of the son thing goes, I'm supposed to be the one next to line. And because of his selfishness or whatnot, he decided that he was just going to bogart his way and become king, even though he knew that Solomon was next in line. So he was like, hey, listen, I'm going to throw a party. Hey, y'all slaughter these animals and whatnot. Give me some fruits and vegetables and some bread and some cakes. And get me some people over here, some prestigious people to come to my party. And we're going to celebrate because I'm going to be next in line for kingship. Now ask me, did he invite Solomon and the other people that knew that Solomon was next in line for kingship? Of course not. That's how you know when it's not of God. When people have to sneak around the truth to do dirt. Did you hear what I said? If you're around people that have done some things to you and they snuck and did it, there was sneakiness, connivingness going on around them so that they can do it, it's not that they didn't know the truth. It's not that they didn't know that what they were doing was wrong. They knew it was wrong. That's why they had to sneak and do it. That's what was the purpose of Adonijah. He didn't invite Solomon them because he knew that they knew the truth. So when you're trying to do dirt, do you want truth present when you're doing dirt? Of course not. So you know what the people started saying? They said, wait a minute, is he serious? He gonna throw a party for real? He throwing a party for real, saying he's next in line for kingship, and he know that Solomon's really supposed to be next in line. And so when they saw that he was going ahead to move forward in that thing, they went and talked to Bathsheba, which was who? Solomon's mom. So Bathsheba goes to King David humbly, right? And she goes, King David, I thought you said God told you that Solomon was next in line. And King David said, what? That is true. God said that that Solomon would take over my place when I die. Then she said, well, why is it that Adonijah is over there having a party celebrating that he's going to be king? You know what David did? Quick, fast, and in a hurry. He said, get Solomon. He had his people go ahead and anoint and ordain him right now for kingship. And I want you to put him on my horse. Not anybody else's horse, but on my horse, and parade him around the land. And y'all celebrate him, his new kingship. Celebrate it. So that's what they did. Solomon got ordained. They had him on top of the horse, sitting up high and whatnot, dressed and draped and whatnot. And they had him paraded. And you know what? By this time, Adonijah and his prestigious friends, right? The conniving ones, the sneaky ones that knew they were in the wrong, they heard all this ruckus going on. In other words, all this celebration out and about. And they was like, what is that noise? What is all this yelling and screaming and stuff? And they came to the door and they saw this man and said, hey, come here. Hey, what's going on? You look like you're a brave person. You look like you will tell the truth. What's going on? And they said, oh, Solomon's just been made king. And you can see the faces, okay? You can just imagine how they were looking. All of his prestigious friends who were sitting around the table that knew that Solomon was supposed to be the king in the first place, you know what they did? Pew! They took off. They took off because they knew they didn't want no parts of that connivingness that Adonijah did. And you know what Adonijah did? Adonijah ran quick, fast, and in a hurry to an altar to repent. Because you know why? Because he didn't want King Solomon to kill him. And you know what King Solomon told him? He said, hey, listen, I'm not going to kill you this time. But if you try something else sneaky like this, if you try to pull something else crazy like this to try to get this kingship, I'm going to have to kill you. And you know what happened? He tried something else again. You said, what did he try? Tell me. What this guy did, he goes to Bathsheba, Solomon's mother, and says, Bathsheba, this is what he says. This is how you know that what he did the first time, he knew what he was doing was wrong. He told Bathsheba this. He said, Bathsheba, now you and I both know that I was supposed to be the king. But God ordained Solomon. So he knew that God ordained Solomon. But he wanted to be king so bad. So he said, forget all that conversation. And so, you know, that she was like, oh, yeah. Okay, what do you want? What do you want? And so he says, please tell Solomon not to say no. Just if he can just grant me this, since I didn't get kingship, can you just grant me this? Bathsheba said, oh, go ahead, I'm listening. He says, you know what? You know Daddy's widow? Daddy's widow. I want him to give me her. I want her to be my wife. And Bathsheba, for what reason, I don't know. I got to read more into that to see why she did it. But she goes to Solomon and says, Solomon, he said, yes, mother. Adonijah wants to know if he can be given your dad's widow. And you know what Solomon said? He said, then what's next? You going to ask for the throne? Because Solomon was smart, a lot of wisdom to understand that if he gave Adonijah his daddy's widow, his dad's wife, this is a lady that was around David constantly, probably knew secrets and things that David used to do and strategies and stuff. And Solomon knew that if I granted this, then what would happen is other people knew who David's wife was. So you can imagine, if you see Adonijah with David's wife, his widow, then when you see them together, they're going to see Adonijah as David. They're going to see him as a kingship because they're going to automatically say, she was married to the king. She was married to the king. King David. She was married to the king. So they're going to put him in a space of kingship still. And you know what Solomon said? I told him the first time that I wasn't going to kill him. I told him if he did something else crazy, I was going to have to get him. And you know what happened? Solomon got him. Solomon had to kill him because he was still trying to take the shine away from Solomon. He was still trying to sneak his way and connive his way and to get into where he can still have some access to the throne. And that's what people, places, and things will do to you when God has ordained things for you and has promised things for you, to you. You have to be wise like Solomon and be able to see that sometimes people aren't just doing it because they don't know that it's wrong. They're doing it because they know it's wrong. And the reason why they're doing it because they think they deserve it more than you. But you can't be shook by that. You have to stay aligned and connected and understand that when God makes a promise to you and when he ordains something for you, that he will keep his promise and he will keep his word, and that thing will perform itself out. He will make sure it gets done. He's a promise keeper. He is. So stop sweating bullets if you think somebody's going to take something that belongs to you. That don't even make sense. Somebody takes something that belongs to you. They can't have it. It's yours. Your name is on it. Your name is on it. God assigned that to you. Whether it be the soon-to-be husband, soon-to-be wife, that house, that car, that position at your job or whatnot. He designed that for you. So I don't care how many times people put in the application and say, I'm going to get that position. If God said, no, you next in line for that position, you better get ready and get you a new name tag and whatnot. You better get you a new little plant to sit on your new desk, because you're next in line. You are. Can nobody take your kingship or whatever God has for you? They can't. It's yours. They can't have it. It's yours. Remember that. I don't know what you're going through right now. I don't know what's going on that's making it feel like something's being pulled away from you. Don't worry about it. God knows how to right that wrong. He knows how to set the record straight. Because even though people, places, things try to act like they have amnesia, like they don't remember that it's yours, or they don't remember that it belongs to you, or they don't remember that it's not theirs, God has a way to getting people to turn things loose that don't belong to them. So stop sweating the bullets. God got you, and He will keep His promise. Listen, if y'all didn't get this thing, please rewind and watch again. But in the meantime, in between time, if you take just a little bit of what I'm telling you and apply to your life to the best of your ability, you won't ever have to make a smile. Why? Because your smiles will always be genuine. I'll talk to y'all soon. Be blessed, stay blessed, be blessed, stay blessed, be blessed, stay blessed. Y'all know what's coming next. Ciao.